When did you start getting the gray in the beard?
That's when I had kids, bro. No, essential. During the divorce, I came in.
I'm so glad you said that.
Telling you,
because I started going gray right here when I got sentenced to prison. like it's literally one of those things. Like there's a story from the Bible. I think Moses saw God in the burning bush,
and then he like, just
his hair went white as snow, or something like a sackcloth, whatever they call it. And it's like that's one of the more believable crazy things in the Bible. Like if you maybe you didn't talk to an actual burning tree that was the voice of God,
burning bush.
But I can believe he saw some shit that turned his hair white. And because like I know people who have seen some shit and their hair turned white, and I saw a little shit and my hair started turning a little white down here. And but yeah, divorce will knock the shit out of you too. I would argue a bad divorce and what I went through are pretty close.
Bro, you can get PTSD from a bad divorce.
I haven't heard anyone say they enjoyed their divorce yet.
I've heard a couple guys say it.
It's not the process I'm referring to.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Like I've heard, I can't be. It's more of a for me. It was the actual breakup as opposed to the process, because that was the love of my life and all that jazz type of thing. But some guys get taken to the cleaners, right, and then that's the trauma for them. So it depends on how the perspective you're coming from.
I have a question about the divorce, and I don't think it's too close, but here. So my friend got divorced. Everyone knows PKA Dan, and there was a point in the process towards the very, very end where he asked his, I guess, still wife at the time, like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to just not get divorced? Like that, my door is still open."
Never asked that.
Hers was closed. She said, "Yes, I still want to get divorced," but he doesn't regret asking. He's glad that he put it out there. Now I think his life is better now, and he probably is lucky she said no. But for a long time, he was like, I get peace of mind knowing it was a have to do, and that he didn't just get divorced out of momentum. So I'm asking Wolf.
Sorry, you got a whole thing.
I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm asking Wolf. Was there a time when did you ask? Did you check? Did you get divorced out of momentum?
All right, boys and girls, get the pens and pads out. Let's talk about relationships and marriage and divorce, because it's horrid, and but also it can be good. Let me tell you one thing about if it's the woman who decides she wants to be divorced, she's decided that months before you find out. So you will always be the last one to know you're getting divorced. Her family will know, her friends will know, her boyfriend will know. Everybody else will know that you're getting divorced before you. So she'll already have a new place picked out. She'll already have a new relationship. That's how it literally is 99.9% of the time, if she's the one who wants to divorce.
Have you ever seen those Japanese game shows where they have to leapfrog from lily pad to lily pad? That's how women operate. Okay?
And I don't want to be misogynistic.
It's not misogynistic. It's how it's how I've seen it
every single time.
Because a man will leave and he'll be like, "That's it, I'm out," and he walks out unprepared into the night with a fucking spear. Right? He doesn't have anywhere to go. That might be her car that he had been driving around, but he has decided he will be outside on the cell phone she pays for, probably calling his boy to come get him and carry his shit back to his house, get on a couch. A woman will leapfrog to that next lily pad. She is ready to go.
Yeah. The man will leave the igloo in the snowstorm unprepared and just go for it. And it's like, and it's traumatizing. And men, I'm not saying men are innocent in these situations either, but if it's a woman wants to be divorced, and I'll tell you another thing, marriage counselors are a complete ripoff. I'll tell you one thing, and that's when it comes to divorce, and the woman says she wants to separate and see other people, whatever it is. There were marriage counselors. Their job is not to keep the marriage together. Marriage counselor is just a phrase that's thrown out there. Marriage counselors are just there to sit and listen to the problems. So they're not going to say, like, you could go, and I'm not saying this is my situation, but I'm saying you could go to a marriage counselor and your wife is like banging some dude like right after, and she will never say the wife is wrong.
They often won't. Yeah, they won't take sides because they're getting paid by the couple. So like, but the problem with sometimes relationships issues can be solved by a third party. And you're like, whoa, hang on a minute. So Kyle, tell Barbara what you really want. Well, what I want is more free time. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of being stressed that she's going to ask me to an engagement with her friends. And so I can't make my plans. And she, oh, that's what you're really stressed about? I thought you hated my friends. No, I love your friends. They're awesome. But like sometimes I want to plan my night out and I'm afraid to do it because I don't want to disappoint you. That's what it really is.
Yes.
And then we hug and that's a problem that's like, we just need a third party to like get us both to open up a little. But
which is always good. But there's two different types of
that's the rare one. That's the rare one.
There's one before she says she wants a divorce, and then the marriage counseling after she says she wants a divorce. So if you get the marriage counseling before she uses the D word, could stand for other things. But if you go to marriage counseling, if you go to counseling before you reach that she wants to separate part, sometimes it can be salvaged. But after she says she wants to separate or divorce, then there's a huge chance it's just a waste of money at that point. You should just save the money for your lawyer. Plain and simple.
Right. So how did we get here? You were saying that when a woman wants a divorce, she already has a plan. Sometimes guys like the process. Oh, I asked if you wished that you could have reversed the process, or at least pitched the idea of not. People get married out of momentum and divorced out of momentum.
And the thing is, if you asked me during the divorce, my Lord, I would have given my soul to keep the family together in it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the crazy thing is I turned out so much better because of the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would literally, there would be no wolf paintball if a divorce didn't happen. Right now, I would be some really overweight guy playing golf every weekend, probably some kind of weird skin or heart condition. I'd be like so average. It's not even funny.
You
that
would not
divorce,
have that geometry.
I'm telling you, Tony Stark was one of my inspirations because I would watch him do the Tony Stark thing and go out to parties and live the life. You know what I mean? And that's what I started doing with my friends. And I was overweight. I was weighing 270. And the stress helped me take a lot of that away. But again, you guys know that I worked in the music industry, in the music video industry. And so, my friends saw that I was divorced and they were like, I don't know if you've ever seen an Usher video where he just broke up with Chili and it's like, you don't have to call. It's okay, girl. We literally did that. Like they called me up to say, bro, we're going out to the club tonight. We're going to have fun. We're going to do the table service, yada, yada, yada. And it just changed my life. And then I put all that pain and energy into paintball. And that's where everything began and just went nuts. And it's like, it changed my life, made everything for the better. And it sounds
living for you again, right? Like
I did. And I discovered life all over again. And it was like I said, I was traveling it was the first time I didn't have my kids every other weekend. I had them during the week, but I would get on a plane, go somewhere and play paintball, or I'd go hang out on video set and do some of that work. And I just lived the life. And it just made, oh my gosh, it's just opened so many doors and just showed me so many cool things and that would have never experienced if I was still married.
So I have another question. God, did you want to go? Or
I want to talk about like living for yourself because I think that's a thing that a lot of people don't even realize it. It's like, someone ever tell you relax at literally go through hey, relax your arms and then you're like, holy shit, I was tense. I was sitting here all like in a ball and I didn't even know it. Am I always like that? Fuck. But that's how living for yourself can be. Like I know people in my life who are like in their early 20s and I'm like, hey, this is the best time of your life if you take hold of it. Like you can do all sorts of crazy shit, like hit the ground running, do this, that, and the other. I've got ideas for you if you want a little wisdom. I was 22 once. And it's like this person is like living for their like mom and dad still. It's like, why do you care about the judgments of those people and being there to like, I don't even want to go into the nitty gritty of it, but just like petty shit, that's preventing people from enjoying their own lives and living for themselves.
I'm telling, oh dude, I had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I had a small son who was on the spectrum that I was practically raising on my own. And I was like, that's a stressful life. And then, and then their mom would get the kids every other weekend. and then I would go and I would do the craziest stuff you could ever imagine. Like, and it was like, you know, I'd be flying around on helicopters, shooting out paintball guns one weekend. Then I'd be, you know, dating a dominatrix the other weekend. Like, like I do things that normal people just hear about. And I just live life to the fullest. And then that shaped me even more as a person. So, like, I'm not mad at my ex-wife in any way whatsoever, because even though the family, you know, not the nuclear family anymore, it changed me as a human being, and it's like it allowed me to experience things that no one else has.
Yeah, it's a good divorce.
That ties into what I was going to ask. So I listen to Dan Savage. He's this love and relationship podcaster sometimes, and he's like, when you get divorced, that isn't the end of your relationship with your wife, especially if you have kids, right? If you have kids, then you two have a relationship until the day you die. However, the nature of it changes. Her expectations around you drop to real low anyway, not zero. You know, she still needs you to watch kids and be a good father, and maybe swap weekends sometimes because people, you know, shit comes up. But her expectations around you, like being her entertainment, her source of finance, all that stuff, like, changes. So how is that, like, how's your relationship with the ex? How did it compare to marriage? Do you guys get along better now? Like,
we get along great. Like, and we do it for the kids, you know, and I'm not saying we don't go and hang out and anywhere, like, but we get along great. You know, I'm not saying we're best friends or anything like that.
Is there any underlying, like, always be mad about, never forgive?
I don't think so. Like, sometimes, like, you can kind of sense it. I mean, there's nothing there that we don't fight. We don't have any type of aggression. Like, it's, you know what I mean? She's she just remarried, and you know, that was a bit weird, but you know, she got married to, you know, some rich dude, you know, Bernie looking Sanders dude, and he's very, you know, he's cool to my kids and stuff, and I'm like, hey.
He looks like Bernie Sanders. You don't look anything like Bernie Sanders. She has more than one type.
He went the whole opposite way. She went from Kanye to friggin'
But she's still a gold digger.
But oh Jesus, no, but you know,
she knows his lines.
She went the opposite way, and it's like,
sing it,
cool.
Woody.
She ain't messing with no.
I was about to do it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, now she goes to the yacht club and everything, and she does her thing.
Who's that?
Oh, that's me. No, he's a very cool dude, and you know, he treats my kids good. That's all that matters. And you know, it's like I'm still the hero dad, so I can't complain about anything. You know what I mean? And as long as they're safe when they're over there, it's good. But again, she you know, she found her own path, and now they play instruments together and listen to country music, which is something I never did, and they do their thing. And I'm like, hey, my life is golden. I'm good. You know.
Wait a minute. They play instruments together and sing.
Yeah, they do their own little band thing, and you know, she learned how to play bass, and she's really happy.
She didn't marry my father, did she? That would be his dream come true.
Oh, really?
To marry like a woman with kids, and for everybody to have an instrument and sing, to have a country music band at his house every night, basically, that he gets to be the lead singer of. Like, he's already got enough instruments and guitars and fucking microphones to do it. He loves that shit.
Well, it's funny because like I'm musically inclined, like in a different way, because I used to DJ and I do the music production and stuff, right? But it's like, you know, my kids grew up listening to like old school De La Soul and old school hip hop and funkadelic stuff and like that. So they have a great appreciation for music, but at the same time, it's not going to be their type of music per se. But they all have their, they have their fun. And my daughter rebels over there a bit, and my son likes his anime heavy metal stuff. So, it works out in the end. Can't complain, bro.